All right, ATXRC Addicts, Troy, what's up, guys? Working on the Yeti real quick. Last night, well, a couple days ago, I come across somebody that did a really cool mod on the steering servo, which we all know is weak, especially once you've done all the other upgrades that you can. It's kind of the last area that's been left untouched. So somebody the other day came up with modding a wire screw cap. It was actually a really, really awesome idea. I can't remember the guy's name. I'll post it in this post whenever I link it. Great idea, dude. Like one of those things that somebody, you know, came up with an at-home mod and found something around the house. So I went to Home Depot this morning with full intention of doing the exact same thing. But on my way, I started thinking about all the stuff that I usually see. It's something that I'm really keen on are spacers. Usually not nylon, though I have a few that I've actually replaced Traxxas big bore shocks, the little spacer with. It takes a little bit of milling, or not even milling, but using a Dremel. I also have a ton of uses for aluminum spacers. People that have seen any of my rigs know that I always find a way. Speaking of nylon spacers, yeah, first night I bought or had the Yeti and I pulled the ESC, this little pole, I lost it somewhere. Made a new one out of 3 nylon spacers. So see, they come useful. Anyways, why did I get this spacer? Well, it is a 1/4 inch inner diameter, which is too small for what I actually need it for. But the outside diameter is 5/8 and it's 3/8 of an inch long. Well, why is that important? Well, when we take apart the servo saver, this is the piece that's flexing, right? It's the spring. So I was walking down the aisle with the spring in my hand looking for spacers, and come to find out this spacer just happens to be, it's a little off center there, the exact same diameter as the spring. Huh, lucky for us also, it just so happens to be the exact same height. Huh. So the only thing I have to do is drill out the center in order to accept the coupled sleeve right there. Right now it won't fit. So I'm gonna drill the center out, drop this in there. And I have another little trick. I bought a second one, and the reason why is I'm gonna try to find a way, and I think I know how, to lock this spacer into the steering system. That way there's no flex at all. This should still allow some twisting and turning. I'm actually curious how this is gonna work out. But I think I can lock it. And if I can lock it, then it doesn't matter if this spins, because it won't. So I'm gonna cut away, I'm gonna go do some work, I'll be right back. Real quick, I wanted to point out, I actually made stated the wrong dimensions. This spacer comes in, it's a 1/4 inch internal diameter, 5/8 outside diameter, and 3/8 thickness, essentially. My bad. I noticed that when I went to go figure out what bits I used, and I used a 5/16 to start the drilling process. So I drilled through it with a 5/16, just because it's slightly bigger than the 1/4 inch that's currently there. And I used it on low speed on my drill, and it was really difficult, but I was able to kind of keep it in the vise and just keep adjusting. Drilled through, and then I took a 5/8 bit, a 3/8 bit, I'm sorry, 3/8, which is how long it is, and that's when I was like, hey, I thought it was 3/8 wide. No. So I took a 3/8 bit, and I drilled through it again, that time on the first speed, got through it, and then I changed my drill up to high speed, and kind of finished it with the drill bit. It took a little while, man. I mean, maybe 5-10 minutes of playing around with it, but what you'll see now is, and I got to do this one-handed, actually, the spacer that I made, of course I won't be able to do it one-handed, I'm trying. Ooh. Hold on. This spacer clicks right in. It's a nice tight fit though. I like the fit on it. I think it's gonna work great. There's a little bit of a lip there. I'm not too worried about it yet. We'll see. I think it'll sit fine because when you put the spring on, there's actually the same lip. I'm not going to show you on video. When you put the spring on, there's the same lip. So I'm hoping it will be okay. So we're going to take it. powered off there for a minute. We're going to reset it in the servo spacer slot. And, oh man, okay, this is where I wasn't sure. Okay, so it looks like I need to take a little bit off the outside. I do. Not a lot, but it does look like it's just barely not fitting in the lower cup. So I'm going to take my Dremel with a light sander paper on it, sand spin on it, and I'm going to just quickly go around it and just kind of fine out the edge and see if I can get it to slip in there. I'll be right back to show you guys how I'm going to do this real quick. Yes, I'm doing this on my kitchen counter just because it's quicker than going all the way outside. I've got my Dremel and I've got it set up with a grinder stone. I figure that's the finest grit I have, so what I'm going to do is I have it in the vise. It kind of pinches it, but if you pinch it low, the top doesn't pinch. And I'm just going to use it on low and evenly go around the outside as evenly, obviously, as possible. I mean, part of the issue is the hole is not perfectly centered, so I'm going to actually take a little more off the edge that's uncentered in an attempt to kind of center the hole. Alright, I'm going to go test fit this and see if it works. So we're back over, and sure enough, that little bit of grinding on the lower edge, she fits in there perfect. Dare I say, it actually looks really good. It's a perfect fit. So, yeah, about that. I'm going to get in touch with a couple people I know and see if we can maybe start making something for this. I'd like to see it out of aluminum. And the way I was going to lock it, I'm not sure if it's going to work. So I'm not even going to attempt it. I was actually going to try to drop some really small 2mm screws or 1mm screws into the edge, but because it's offset, it's not really going to work. I have another idea, but I don't think it's going to be very feasible today to do. So anyways, ATXRC Addicts, I'm going to put it all together. I'll let you know for sure if it works. You'll know if it works if I post this video. So keep on bashing, keep going and crawling, keep doing what you do. Most importantly, help people share, you know, your experiences and help build better vehicles. So let's go, guys.